right, welcome back to Terry Roseland podcast. We all have that friend who goes from relationship to relationship. We all has that friend that seems like they could never be alone. We all have that friend that stays in fucked up situations for way too long. And the question of the day is it really love or are you just scared to be alone? Are you scared to be by yourself? So even on the flight, we got the picture of Cam and her, when she was going through her situation.
And we got the flyer with your ass on there too in the back, thinking about your life.
Yeah, so we're gonna explore that today. And my two guests for the day is Cam. You can introduce yourself.
Y'all already know if
Not
y'all
guest,
was
co-host.
watching.
I apologize.
No problem. You'll get used to it. Look, but no, if y'all ain't been watching these last few episodes, I'm Cam, Killer Cam. Just always happy to be here.
And then I got the actual guest, the one and only, the new author, future New York Times best-selling author.
Period. Speak that into existence. Yes.
Let them know.
Manifestation.
So it's B. Marie, your favorite therapist.
Okay.
And I'm so excited to be back on Terry Roseland's podcast. And we got a lot of good stuff to talk about today, including look what I have here, my book. Okay. So
facts. That's tell me the name of the book.
Okay. So this is my spiel?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me tell y'all what's going on. Okay. So this is my new book. It's called The Things I Wish I Knew. And it's a millennial's guide to learning the emotional and mental concepts that the school system and our parents didn't teach us. So a lot of the conversations that we're having nowadays are around healing, around our getting to know our inner child, breaking generational cycles and choices. And so pretty much because I'm a therapist, I've done a bunch of like psychoeducation groups, meaning like I'm in treatment centers and I'm working with people on life skills and just kind of how to better understand what their experiences are and how to manage certain symptoms like anxiety, like depression, and a variety of other things, life transitions. And so I just felt like I wanted to contribute something to my culture. I love being a millennial. I feel like we are game changers and change makers, and I feel like a lot of us are trying to do the work and may not know where to start. Some of us, we're probably the most open generation to go into therapy now and discussing mental health and its importance. And so I wanted to kind of provide a resource that was going to help with that. So what do we talk about in my book? We talk about attachment. We talk about boundaries. We talk about codependency, which is what we'll be touching on today. Communication, coping skills, self-care, and our career and our education and how that system influences the person that we become and how satisfied we are with life. And then I have a chapter on family dynamics, which pretty much takes all of those other topics and discusses how our environment and how our family contributes to how we attach ourselves to people, how we learn how to set boundaries, how do we learn how to communicate, how do we learn how to adjust to our reality when it's different than what we saw for ourselves 5-10 years ago. So y'all want this. Y'all want this book. Terry Roseland not going to let me leave without him buying one today.
Facts.
So he'll be able to give you all more perspective. But
I can't wait to me and Cam famous and shit. And people just give us shit for free. They just bring shit up here like,
here's these shirts.
It's not for
take
free
these
today.
books.
Like, I got a car dealership. You get a car.
Okay, I wasn't even. Y'all see, I wasn't even finna take it that far. I'm talking about t-shirts. He's talking about cars. I feel that though.
But we are gonna support Brittany and buy her book
for sure. Absolutely,
for sure. And I expect y'all to do the same thing because that's something that we definitely need. I'm always big on therapy. I've been talking about me being in therapy since 2021. I relaunched Storytime, and it's been a great help to my life, to my relationships, to my mental space, and just even giving me the confidence to take some of the risks that I take in life as far as financially and all that type of things. So shout out to therapy.
Yep. So feel free to follow me on Instagram at BringItBrat, BringBrat_, and then my business page, which is also at Be The Change TS, and that's where you can find the link to the book as well as my website www.bethechangeTS.org.
Yep. So Adam just asked where to get the book from. You just answered her question. We appreciate that. The quote of the day is, "If you can sit with yourself, you can sit with anyone." And I got that quote from my therapist. She told me that. She said, I basically started therapy I had problems with infidelity. Like, I just couldn't stop fucking other bitches. Like, I could love my girl to death. She could be doing everything right. And, like, I didn't have to be mad, nothing. Like, I just would get in a space to where,
Lord
like,
Jesus.
I just wanted to explore. I don't know why. And so I went to therapy for it because I fucked up a girl kind of bad, like emotionally, because she kept like continuing a relationship for that reason. So I went to therapy for it because I felt bad, like I felt horrible. You know what I'm saying? And I also went for like sex addiction. Well, I went for infidelity and found out like in the second fucking session that it's like, nigga, you have a sex addiction. So a lot of times instead of dealing with my emotions head on, I would try to distract myself from things with sex, which other people use drugs,
Facts.
other people use weed, fucking liquor. I don't do any of those things. I don't really drink or smoke. I fuck. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and that's kind of the space that I would fall into when I wanted to ignore my emotions, just trying to have somebody every night type of thing. But she said that I was doing it because I didn't want to sit with myself and my emotions. And she was like, when you learn to sit with yourself and deal with shit, then you can sit with anybody and find comfort. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can be happy on your own next time you go into a relationship. You know what I'm saying? You could maintain your happiness regardless if this shit goes left or right. And that's kind of what we're talking about now. Is like a lot of people can't see the happiness on the other side of the relationship, so they stay in it.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna start off jumping into our topic with this question. I'm a relationship person, right? A lot of people give you that. I'm a relationship person. But it's like, why are you a relationship person? Why can't you be alone? Like, what do y'all think when y'all hear shit like that? Like, I'm a relationship person.
Personally, I have used this line multiple times before. I'm almost 29 now, but I had like 3 relationships back to back to back when I was like 18 to 23. And it was just like, I thought it was because, I'm a relationship person. Like, I just like to have one person and I just like commitment. And I just like, meanwhile, niggas was cheating. Like, so it didn't have anything.
You was really trying to keep that count low. But
no, I mean, that too. We could discuss that a whole nother time. But, so it's like, niggas be cheating and you tell yourself like, I just want to be with one person. And eventually you look up and you gotta come to terms with the fact that it's like, no, like I'm just not trying to be by myself. Like it branches from trauma, from my childhood that made it very hard for me to be by myself or to even want to be by myself. You know what I'm saying? Because some people just don't want to, because like you don't want to acknowledge all of those deeper emotions and deeper things that are really going on.
Right.
Because that's a lot of work.
It's tough.
Yeah. It's tough. It's tough. It's
to look
a lot.
yourself in the mirror and really admit all the shit that's wrong with you and acknowledge it. That's fucked up. It's hard.
It is not easy at all.
Yeah, especially when you want to be right. I like to be right.
Especially about myself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I definitely want to be right all the time about myself, but a majority of people spend a lot of time lying to themselves.
What do you think, Miss Dare?
Listen, y'all hit it on the head. I don't even know how I need to explain it.
we were supposed to do a live therapy session. You were scared though.
I was not scared.
You were scared.
I don't think I was scared. I think that like why start that and you got 2 therapists. Why do we need to put your trauma on display?
But you just put it on display. Right? I got 2 therapists.
Listen,
I didn't even know you had 2.
I like to hear a female and male perspective.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
Yeah, pretty much like I think that the whole I'm a relationship person can be interpreted in 2 different ways. So we have one person, who sees lifelong companionship for themselves in the form of a monogamous relationship most of the time.
Get a dog, baby.
You see what you talking about? Y'all see, you in a room full of women right now.
But the desire to, have one person to have that consistency to build with somebody. Like I identify with that, so I can understand the whole idea of like wanting of being more so a relationship person or enjoying relationships maybe a little bit more than you enjoy, your time being single. Mm-hmm. But I think that what Cam touched on, which is the case for most people, is that we end up seeing that there's a development of codependency, right? Like I feel more fulfilled when I have somebody, even if that somebody ain't all that to be keeping around.
You be lying to yourself.
The fact that I have them,
is enough for me.
Is enough for me, and to know that like I could potentially have to be without that. I don't like that. So if that person just happens to need to leave or we just need to break up, then it's not going to be very long before I just have somebody else to go into that spot.
That's it.
And so what we kind of see, I think, develop from, people's childhoods, number one, is like when we have an issue with just we have an unhealthy relationship with like attachment and maybe rigid or weak boundaries. So now it's like, you know, whoever makes me feel good or expresses interest or is willing to give me, you know, like you spoke on the fact that like commitment, like the fact that you could find 3 niggas back to back who was willing to be like, well, I'm gonna call you my girlfriend.
Yeah, call me their girlfriend.
Because most of these men, they ain't even giving you the title.
It's easy to do that when you gonna cheat anyway, and you don't want her to get to fuck nobody else.
Doing that shit, and that's legit what it was.
That's the wave, right?
That's what it was.
Yeah, you my girl, yeah.
That's what it was.
That's hilarious. But yeah, so I mean, it's easy to kind of like fall into that when you and somebody are enjoying each other's company, or maybe like you kind of rush into things and it just feels so good. Like, yeah, I think everybody has been in a relationship that felt like addicting. You know, it felt like a high.
I can't be without this person.
And if they leave me, I might die.
Like for real.
I feel like we done been there. And so again, it comes from just like this unhealthy attachment of feeling like, you know, whether it be purpose, whether it be energy, whether it be motivation, comes from this sole individual. And I don't know if I could have it without them in my life. Or, you know, as women, sometimes, you know, we're naturally nurturers and we want to fix. So a lot of women end up being codependent because they want to be out here fixing these niggas. Like, oh, you look broken. The bitch ain't never bought you nothing, baby. I'm finna show you. Like, we get off on that, you know? And so a part of that is also realizing like, there's probably shit in my life that I need to fix. And I don't want to worry about that. So I'm gonna just go out here and like fix men or, you know, try to fix everybody else's stuff. But at the end of the day, you know, sometimes we look, I think people who are serial monogamy, you know, who practice serial monogamy where they want to be in relationship after relationship after relationship.
They need to heal.
You realize that without taking that time to yourself, number one, you just dragging bad habits and patterns from one relationship to the next. Pretty much like when we're teens and we start dating, like we don't really be knowing what we doing. Not for real. And then
at all.
If we don't take a break somewhere to figure out ourselves or what we like, then we just end up adopting like what our niggas like.
Yes, because at the end of the day, like you gotta already think about it. Like we already so young. Yeah, we barely know ourselves. Like we barely know ourselves, and we spend all this time trying to give everything we got. To a person because we like them. We damn near don't even know what love is.
Right. We definitely don't. Like the best thing that could have happened to me shortly after like my first real relationship. We was together for like 4 years, high school into like the end of my freshman year of college. And the best thing we could have ever done was break up because number one, I wasn't having a college experience because I was in my dorm room on the phone caking with this man. I wasn't meeting people. Like I could have lost my whole experience, but I needed that time to get to know who I was, especially now as a young adult. Like I didn't really know anything. And so when you notice that you went from like, okay, your high school relationship, then you had that college relationship,
then you get out of college
right
and you
college
an adult and you be like,
the whole space of time.
You lose track of yourself because you cannot dedicate all this time to one person and be trying to like learn yourself, especially when you just constant situation. Like people don't want to accept the fact that sometimes you have to pause and heal. Then you're not learning from your bad habits. You're not learning like, you're not sitting and reflecting on what should I have done better. I feel like that's a space that, you know, the older you get, that's more what you should be doing as you date, as you stay single, yourself, you know, and understanding like one of the main questions I asked me, and, you know, like obviously I want to kind of know briefly what happened with your last relationship, right? Same.
But if you sit there and you tell me everything that she did wrong and you don't say nothing about you,
it's a red flag for sure.
And I don't want to talk to you again.
Like that
because everybody did something.
Exactly. Yeah. So the fact that you can't sit and tell me like, well, yeah, I should have did this better. I needed, you know,
they be like, that bitch cheated and she kept on cheating. Why? Well, you can't sit here and turn a gun on yourself and say, well, I didn't know how to communicate, or I put my boys first, or like niggas never want to like speak on them.
Niggas putting their homie first is a whole episode.
We can do it when you ready.
That's a whole episode. y'all hate the guys.
I mean,
y'all hate the girls, especially the ones with no nigga.
All right, so so we kind of the next question actually was why do people stay in bad relationships? I think we kind of covered that base. How do you know it's time to leave though?
Ooh, I'm like, well, I think I got a YouTube video on that. Yeah. But pretty much I feel like when you don't feel like you're in a relationship anymore, right? Like we are supposed to be in relationships to complement one another, to grow and build and all that other stuff. And if I'm feeling like I'm doing that alone and I don't have a partner, then like that's the time to question, what are we doing? I mean, in addition to all the obvious stuff, right? Like emotional or physical or sexual abusive tendencies, all of that family, obviously. But the more subtle things of when it's time to bounce is, do I still know who I am? Like, am I questioning that? Like,
myself?
Do I like who I am in this relationship? Because a lot of times when people are not for us, we start to turn into people that we don't like, that we don't recognize, that, you know,
start treating yourself how they treat you.
Reverting
like
back to old patterns that you was trying to change.
Insecure, like just a bunch of bullshit.
Absolutely. Insecurity is a big one. When
Huge.
you can acknowledge, like, I'm insecure as hell in this relationship, it's time to go.
And you're not, and especially if the person not gonna do nothing to contribute to help you change that. Like,
absolutely. Like, again, in my book, we talk about attachment styles. And so we have
so
like secure attachment, and that's what you want. So if I'm experiencing, you know, an insecure attachment to you, where, you know, again, I'm being passive, I'm not feeling like I'm being heard, or my boundaries aren't being respected, all of that, then it's time to go.
Make sure everybody watching right now, make sure y'all shut it live. That's the cheapest. It's actually free. It's actually a free way to support the podcast.
Absolutely.
So shut it live. Make sure y'all do that. And I can see who did the shit, just so y'all know. I be checks and balances. We need that. Now, listen, a lot of y'all that's listening to this right now that might be in denial, like, no, they tripping, they tweaking. They got some real clear skin up here. They know what they talking about.
Listen, baby, because I'm gonna tell you one thing. I'm not dealing with no bullshit from no nigga.
That don't mean y'all happy.
I'm happy as fuck. I'm not dealing with no bullshit.
Hey, man.
It's just not happening. I'm too old.
Your body tells you when you messing with some stuff you ain't supposed
to be doing. Your gut feeling, your intuition. Like, hey, I love being a woman.
Facts. I love being a woman. That's a hell of a statement. What is love supposed to look like, in your opinion? Let me start. I didn't start last time. I think love is passion, understanding, and loyalty. If you got those three, passion, understanding, and loyalty, that's like love. Okay. If you take any one of those three away, it's fucked up.
Facts, but it's more though. Like, it's definitely trust. Because you can't just say loyalty. Like, you got trust.
I actually replaced the loyalty with trust. Okay, I think that's kind of what I meant by that.
It's trust.
I had to save myself.
Yeah, there you go. Look at you. Yeah. Like, I did that. It's accountability. Okay. I feel like a person that can't be accountable for their actions and the things that they've done to you, even if you allotting them the chance to bounce back from that.
I can deal with that.
They can't be accountable.
Women aren't accountable.
It's not, okay. Moving. Okay.
So the options is like,
I feel bad for you men that ain't never had a woman be accountable.
Girl, okay, say it again, cause damn, y'all want an apology and y'all niggas be on Twitter talking about a woman ain't never apologized.
I don't even want an apology. I'm talking about I get into it with a chick and be like, you said what? She like, I don't really remember saying that. I'm like, do you remember us arguing about you saying that? Yeah, but so how don't you remember saying it? But do it even matter if you remember saying it?
No,
like, you know you said it.
Look, she's supposed to say no again.
Yeah, y'all horrible.
But I mean, when it comes, I like the descriptors that you all gave. I feel like looking at it, answering the question through a different lens. I feel like love is supposed to look like two whole individuals that are coming together to choose one another every day that they decide that this is what they want to be doing. Because I'm very big on people knowing and realizing that love is just so far past like a feeling. You know, people think that it's just supposed to kick them in the ass one day, and it's like, not really. Love is supposed to be an act. It's a choice. It's deciding every day that I'm gonna treat this person with respect, with trust, with patience and understanding. Like even when I don't feel like I want to do that, I choose to do that because this is a respect of this person that I chose to love.
Right.
And it just don't end today because somebody make a mistake. Like, you know,
that's
somebody
facts.
mad. Right.
That's facts. We're gonna take a detour real quick. Make sure y'all get some killer cocktails, man. So we promote businesses. We promote Black business on this podcast. Killer Cocktails is my co-host business. You know, I drunk half of one and it fucked me up. I'm a
They be
lightweight
getting
though.
people fucked up.
They
Y'all be
do.
careful.
They taste great. You know what I'm saying? Cam get up, you know, she do her shit, she get shit done, and she do parties as well. So
I do.
tell
I
them
do
about Killer
events. Yes.
Cocktails real quick.
So Killer Cocktails is small, Black owned, obviously, based out of Chicago. I started Killer Cocktails just in November, actually. Just trying to do something during the pandemic, something fun, something that I enjoyed. For those who know me or don't, I used to work at the Turkey Leg Hut, one of the hottest restaurants in Houston.
You used to live in Houston?
Yes, I did. And I was a bartender there. And like, just, I don't know, like, I've always been like a person big on creativity. Like anything that's creative, even if I don't know how to do it, like I want to try. So it's just like the comfort that I found in making drinks, making people happy, whatever may have you. I love that shit a lot. Like I loved it. So I just perfected my craft. Bartending branches off to mixology. And I just started like building recipes, building menus, doing, just little stuff. It was the pandemic, so my business really honestly didn't start off the way that I wanted to because I could not immediately do events. So I had to come up with a different outlet. So I started selling bottles. Sometimes $10 holla, 15. I got big bottles, I got gallons, and it just really kind of just skyrocketed in a way that I did not expect. So now I'm currently still a one-man show, but I'm currently building to create a bigger brand. So I do have a website coming soon where you guys will be able to place orders and pick up. And I also am dropping a holiday recipe ebook. So be on the lookout for that. And that's about it. Like Killer Cocktail shit. Let me get y'all lit.
Ebooks is lit because you really creating something that you can keep making money off of.
Exactly.
Regardless. So that's dope. Yeah. What is that alone time supposed to look like? Getting back to the topic. So that alone time that we saying people need to take to in between relationships to heal. What is that supposed to look like? What should you be doing? What should you be focused on? And how do you know when you're ready to get into your next relationship?
Yeah. So I think reflection, right? Like number one, understanding maybe the inadequacies of yourself in that relationship, or maybe just realizing how you may have lost yourself in that relationship. So prioritizing getting to know self again, relearning like interests, and one of the major things that I see about like getting out of relationships is people, you really realize how much you've neglected for self, for your responsibilities, maybe even things or plans that you had, like
your
endeavors
friends,
you wanted to start,
like
yeah, like you realize that damn, I know the first time I really started locking on somebody, don't let us get to spending time together. I'm not going to the gym, and that's bad. And as soon as we finish, we done. I'm like,
don't let them be trying to link up when you know that's your gym time.
You know that's your gym time. Like I shouldn't have spent the night last night because now I want to get up in the morning.
You don't even want to tell them like, no, I gotta go to the gym.
Absolutely,
like,
like it's stuff like that. That you kind of come out and you able to like, them love glasses are off and you're like, okay, so this, I need to fix that in my life. I need to get this together. So definitely assessing like, what have I maybe neglected during that time that I want to reprioritize. Building an understanding of like, what do you want in your next relationship? What type of partner do you want to be? And how can you work to make sure
I was just gonna say that. Who do you want to be?
Those attributes to be the person that you would like to attract, or be your best self. So definitely reflection, new levels of self-awareness, because as we mentioned, like denial is huge in codependency because it keeps you from seeing the reality of what's taking place. And we can't grow if we don't come out of that. Like you can't have self-awareness with denial. Like they can't coexist. They cannot. No. So if I'm gonna see myself, I gotta see all of me. I can't just see my shadow. I can't just see my light. I need to see my shadow. I need to figure out like, how do I continue to make me a better person? And I mean, I don't necessarily tell people like time limits on how long they should be single, but I feel like a month after you just got out of your last relationship,
you should not be trying to fucking seriously fuck with somebody.
Did nothing,
like, no.
Nothing.
I
heard somebody say, half the time that you were with the person type ordeal.
Yeah, I don't think it's
To a certain
book on that shit,
extent,
though.
no, it's not. But to
Yeah.
a certain extent, I looked back on my situations and was like, that's about how long it took me to get over this nigga. Like, real shit.
And there's a difference. Like, there's a period of time, especially I feel like more so. I say for men too, but the getting over it part, and then I'm transitioning.
That's the first part, right?
Right. Then I'm transitioning
you cannot
into like
get under somebody else to get over someone.
Then
like
I
it just don't work
into
like that.
The me part, the self-work
so
part.
now I'm over this person. Now I'm finna
now I can
myself.
and that's what I was gonna say. You just took the words out of my mouth, bouncing off what she said. It looks like rebuilding. It's rebuilding and recentering yourself, spending ample time with yourself to get to know yourself all over again. If you lost your way,
stay single as long as you possibly can.
Yes, absolutely.
What I say is this. So for me, as a therapist, right, and sometimes my caps stay on when it comes to assessing like how I need to date and how I need to move and stuff. So like, when a guy comes to me and he tells me I like a minimum of how long somebody has been single. Mm-hmm. So if you tell me you got out of a relationship 3 to 6 months ago, I'm gonna probably pass on you because I just don't know or trust if you've done the work in that time. Mm-hmm. A year, I feel safe. A little safer. And that's not to say that I can still certain stuff could come out.
I'm still loving a bitch out there. Yeah.
Okay.
And you know why?
That be because after a year, I'm pretty. Because they do. But they never tell that bitch. You know why we still love a bitch out there? Yeah.
And this is most niggas, I think. Most niggas I know at least. We still love a bitch out the year because it didn't really hit us till 6 months after the breakup.
True.
Anyway, that shit hit y'all immediately. We be fucking bitches.
The reason why it hits us immediately,
around here being codependent,
it hits us immediately as women because like
we done
already checked out.
Yeah,
we done already checked out mentally, and we just giving y'all like a nice little
that was a buffer
trial period at the end to get your shit together.
I feel like y'all allow yourself to feel them emotions immediately, and we find things to distract ourselves from it.
And then that shit hits y'all. By the time it hits y'all, don't let y'all see us happy. Now we ain't shit.
Which is why
we been not shit.
Even if I say a year, I'm still asking certain questions to be able to figure out
what's too long. What if he said I've been single 6 years? Is that a red flag?
No, because I've been single that long. I've
been single for 3.
Yeah, but I asked like I personally like if I ever meet, I number one, I rarely meet men that have been single as long as I've been single. Mm-hmm. And then when I do, I always ask like, well, what have you been up to? Right. What is your dating been looking like? Like, and for men, because you all, I feel like lead that process. I like to ask what kept you from committing to one of your situationships.
I don't like none of that shit.
I like it.
I don't like talking about none of that shit because I feel like y'all overjudge it.
I'm not here to judge.
Y'all be overjudging shit.
Take it in.
I don't judge typically because
I want to know you had a whole phase. All that, get it out your system.
Yeah, like a nigga asked me like, "Oh, when was your last situation?" I'd be like, "Shit, it was last month." Like you know
what?
Like, and I don't necessarily ask.
I don't ask shit though. Like either. Like I don't want to know. I'm cool.
Okay. Yeah, y'all cool until y'all find out some shit. But though.
But even then, I'm cool even when I find out. But I just don't want to open Pandora's box. Like I'm straight. I don't need to know. You know what I'm saying?
That's fair.
I don't need to know.
Me personally, I mentally kind of do.
I definitely want to know
in my head
the last relationship
of
like definitely like. Because like she said, you want to hear if a nigga gonna blame it all on the girl.
Yeah. Like, and I don't need details, right? Like, I don't need to know all, but I can again.
Well, I was more so talking about the single life.
Oh, well, yeah, no.
If you tell me about your past relationship, that's cool. I don't need to know what you was doing when you were single.
Well, and that's even being like specific, right?
No. I would never
I make the assumptions, number one, that you
definitely not
had situationships
that
you've been fucking, right? So for me as a woman, knowing that a man can take the lead and say, hey, I want you to be my partner, I want you to be my girlfriend, I get curious as to like what stopped your past situation.
Yeah, like
what kept you from saying like I want to commit to you? Because I know you've been doing it because I've been doing it.
Exactly.
Right.
So why haven't you chosen to commit with any of those particular women?
And that's pretty much as far as
I think that in between time should be like, I think you got to fall in love with yourself. And I think a lot of us don't be really in love with ourselves. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I mean like unconditionally. Like whether you gain some weight, whether you lose some weight.
So true.
Whether you fucking lose a tooth, whether you fucking have a bad situation where you do some fuck shit and you can't forgive yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Whether you anything, like I feel like if you in love with yourself unconditionally, you know who you are, you know what you bring to the table, it make And then a lot of people don't know what they bring to the table. That's another thing. A lot of people cannot identify what I bring to the table. And it's like they try to say the things that they have. We talked about that last week. They try to say the things they have instead of who they are. And I think the person you are and understanding that and valuing that and giving somebody that gift, that's just, like for me, like I give people advice. I'm great at giving advice. I'm great at, communicating with people, things like that. Making people feel comfortable. I be making girls feel too comfortable though. I be like, I ain't really the makeup. I'm cool with the natural shit. Then bitch be at my crib. She ain't got her head done in 4 months. They be like, hold on.
You know what?
Like, but you know what I'm saying? I understand what my qualities are and I give that more. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I feel like it makes dating easier. And I feel like when you fall in love with yourself, it makes breakups easier. It make it easier to not be.
Yes, it does.
It make it easier to focus on the because we ignore the red flags on purpose when we meet a motherfucker.
Yes.
But I feel like when you love yourself and you know
your
that
worth,
if this shit end, I'm straight.
I'm okay. And then too, like
the
you
relationship's
said,
so much healthier.
Knowing your worth, that honestly cuts a lot of shit short when a person do some fuck shit.
Facts.
Because you don't spend that time sitting with yourself like,
this.
well,
what did I do? Like you don't internalize
or he apologized and you like, okay, I'll take you back.
I'm not doing that.
I'm not doing it. I know my worth. That was some fuck shit. We're both grown. You know what you was doing. Sayonara.
Sayonara.
And that's it.
Hey, that's some real shit, but I hate when it happened to me though.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like we're moving into a place where like men, they not getting as many chances as they used to because especially now, like
But the one thing about me and y'all been knew y'all worth, even if y'all ain't worth shit.
Because the
moment something make y'all feel like, she done made me feel like a goofy,
I'm gone.
I'm out. Yeah. Fuck you, bitch. Like
that's more fragile ego than I think knowing your worth. I think niggas don't know their worth because niggas have confidence in who they and what they do more than who they are. And once that thing get taken over, how many niggas you know that was ranked in basketball in high school? They ain't overseas. They here. They don't hoop no more.
Right. Yeah,
they whole aura is different. Facts. The confidence is gone. They a whole different nigga.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
why you had to bring that up?
That shit.
Somebody watching right now.
And I always say, like, if you line niggas up, right, and you got like a hoop, let's say this nigga number 1 in the state in basketball. This nigga got a bunch of bread. This nigga a killer. You know what I'm saying? This nigga got bitches, right? So you line these niggas up, and a girl, let's say a bad bitch walking the room like, oh, y'all niggas are fucking goofy. Y'all some goofy ass niggas. Ooh. The nigga that's bitch, I'm number 1 in the state. You got me fucked up. The nigga with the bread, I'm like, bitch, I could buy you. The nigga with the
killer gonna kill her.
The killer gonna be like, bitch, I'll blow your shit. And the nigga with the fly nigga gonna be like, my t-shirt costs more than anything you got on, bitch. Like, you know what I'm saying? So they gonna immediately defend themselves with what they have. Now, if you take that away from them,
they're gonna feel like a lame soon as she call their ass.
I feel you on the fragile, the fragile ego part, because when we talk about the example of like men having standards, is usually because we use the example of a woman cheating on him. Now we know some men will stay and they'll work it out, but most men
gonna stay and work it out.
Most,
but
he's not. The difference between us and y'all is the internet gonna know that your nigga. You gonna tell everybody your nigga cheat on you. That nigga not gonna tell nobody.
I say it's like 50-50.
I'm not telling the internet.
You feel like niggas be online capping about
not verbatim. Like I got cheated on.
Niggas is staying with they bitch. They not telling nobody that this bitch cheated. Ain't nobody gonna find out.
I'm asking you, do the niggas that be online saying wholeheartedly that if a woman cheat on them,
nigga stay with me after I cheated.
Majority of them are lying.
A nigga definitely stay with me after I cheated.
Yes,
sure.
Majority of them are lying. Now, if the nigga see a video or some shit, he probably getting the fuck up out of that. That's probably. But most niggas, if it's like you went on a date or he heard you fucked or he could assume through some text messages that you fucked or you admitted to him, did you fuck the nigga? Did you suck his dick though? Yeah. Suck a nigga part of sex. That's shit. Like,
question.
Can somebody have to ask you that before?
No, damn.
We gotta get into some personal experience.
Judge the question without it being personalization. No, but a nigga definitely stay with me after I cheated for sure.
Damn.
Yeah.
Did you tell him sucking dick is a part of sex?
No, I was not even doing that at the time.
Oh, damn.
Nope.
Okay. Moving right along. Because we got to wrap this up in a second. Going back to the original thing. What are the signs that, can tell you the difference between like this is love or this is me holding on to something I should let go? Like, what are some of the signs that can tell a woman that's in this situation right now who like she on the fence? I got a girl who DM'd me today. She DM'd me before and she'd tell me this thing that's going on with her and her guy. I don't know her at all. And today I just gave her my number. Like, you could just call me and I could tell you what my advice is. But I feel like it's a lot of women in these situations to where, like, damn, like, I really ain't fucking with this shit, but I really love this person. I really want this to work, even though it makes no sense.
It's the majority of women.
So what are the signs that to let them know, like, all right, boom, bingo, it's time to go? Like,
I think the fact that that's showing up is sign number one.
That you even question
the fact that you're even questioning it. Because as women, when we learn how to channel our intuition and decipher between trauma and anxiety and all of that, we can feel very easily the energy of, like, I don't know if I'm supposed to be here. And if I don't know, and there's nothing being done to reassure me or confirm that I'm supposed to be here, then
I think that's the thing.
That's tell number one. Number two, like, again, a part of you feeling that way means there are needs and maybe some wants, mostly needs that are going unmet.
Yes.
Why is your partner not meeting them? Why are you staying and they're not meeting them?
Why
do you hope that they're going to start to meet them one
like,
day?
why are
How
your
long
goals
have you gave
not
them
aligning?
to try to make an effort, right? Like,
they no longer including you,
right?
Like, it's a me, I thing. Like, if it's not we, us, our, like, that transition, that's just show everything about how a person has started to feel about you or has always felt about you.
And if there are just these very dramatic highs and lows, right? Because that's what keeps people attached, is this feeling of knowing when it's
love
good,
bombing.
It's so good,
love
but when
bombing.
It's bad, it feel like hell.
She's such a Twitter girl. She's such a
that's not even a Twitter
thing. Girl. It
love
is.
bombing is not even a Twitter thing.
Love bombing is more so in those beginning stages where it's like, I'm swarming you. But we talking like once you already in a relationship, like if you're in a place where, like I said, you're questioning, or you feeling like certain things aren't being done. And then your request and all of that stuff is falling on deaf ears. Like, again, you can't be obsessed with knowing, like, how high those highs are. You got to start considering how low are those lows.
Got you.
Yep.
Absolutely.
And then, like, are y'all still on the same page? Like, do y'all still want the same things?
You want the same things? Are your values still aligning?
Still
because
aligned.
Sometimes we outgrow our partner.
Yes. Sometimes it's like that person views alone will, like, have you like, I cannot be with this person. Like, then you gotta sometimes.
We can't even talk. No, we can't even have these conversations.
Right, exactly.
Because and especially if you're always deflecting, or if you just want to attack me for my view, or if you know what I'm saying. So it's just like, you gotta continue to assess your relationship, even when y'all been together for so long. Like, you gotta sometimes sit back and be like, okay, are we still?
I have to tell couples that I work
a good
with,
match. Like
even married. I work with married couples who got 20 years in, and we talk about often how, like, you talk about building long term with somebody like that, who you guys were at year 5 aren't going to be who you were at year 10, aren't going to be who you are at year 15. And the key and the goal and how people have these when you want to have a healthy relationship or marriage that lasts that long, it starts with, like, are we growing at the same pace? Are we growing, individually?
Together.
Are we growing in the life that we want to see for ourselves? And maybe if our partner gets stunted, are we helping them along? Are we accepting that, like, right now they don't have my 80? They may only have 20.
Can I make up for that right now?
Right. Do I have the capacity to
and not feel like I'm like somebody getting over on me? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
preaching this.
And then too, like, is that person, like, is that your go-to person? Like, do you feel comfortable venting to this person?
Yeah.
Like, opening up to them fully to never feel judged. Once you get to that point in a relationship where you tell your partner something and they like, like, you know, and then
it's nothing worse than feeling like you can't tell nobody.
Like,
shit.
you can't, like, I can't even talk to you.
Yeah.
That's when you be like,
absolutely.
Okay, you're not gonna.
It come back up later. So.
Yeah, and it's just like, I told you
like,
that
so you
out
really
of.
Like that bitch. Like,
and it's just like, hey, I was just trying to tell you what happened. Like, that's it. And like, you always wanna make sure you're truly happy with the person. Like we keep saying, it's not about what a person can do for you. How do they make you feel?
Absolutely.
How do they make you feel?
Absolutely. Cam.
Yes.
It's your time to shine.
Oh, it's my little segment.
It is. What are you gonna name? I think Cam's corner is nice. But it's up to you.
Okay, look, some
Look,
corners because we can do like
name.
corners like with hoes, or we could do like corners like with drugs. We, you know what I'm saying?
All right.
Okay.
All right.
Hey, boss. Okay.
I gotta watch Raising Canaan when I get home. Okay, so a little slight segment. I'm just gonna stick to the topic, but I do want to say, and I'm saying this from experience, don't be afraid to be alone. Don't be afraid to be by yourself. I'm telling you, it's going to be okay. Seriously, you'll be surprised how much good can actually come from you being by yourself. There is no better lesson than learning yourself fully and taking the steps to be whole. You don't ever want to be a broken person, constantly moving from situation to situation. That's how you hurt people and end up in therapy and find out you got a sex addiction. Okay, I'm just playing.
Whoa.
But no, seriously, that is for real how you hurt people. You constantly, you gonna keep hurting people. Oh, that shit, that was a trigger. But you gonna keep hurting people. You don't gotta be with somebody just because you don't want to be alone. You don't have to deal with bullshit because you're used to a person. You don't have to try to maintain unhappiness just to keep a person in your life. You don't got to keep lying to yourself, telling yourself that things are better when you know that they are not. Don't tell yourself that they're going to get better when you know that they're not. You don't have to walk on eggshells for anybody. Our moms were not lying when they said, if it's right, we will know. Okay? That's a key point right there. Just to branch off the damn slogan of the day, like, if you can sit with yourself, you can sit with anybody. If you cannot sit with yourself, you will sit with anybody as well.
Damn. She just flipped it.
So
Oh, no.
Don't ignore your gut feelings. Don't convince yourself that you need this person to live. I've been there. Seriously, it's not true. I'm here still kicking shit. Don't get so caught up in the pattern that you begin to forget that you cannot pour from an empty cup. Stop trying to give your all to somebody if you are not whole. Don't lose sight of the love that you have for yourself trying to love somebody else. Don't stay with somebody because you fear that if they leave or you leave, they'll find somebody else. Let people go. Obviously, if they're not the one for you, they're not going to be the one today or tomorrow or next year. They're not the one. They're going to find somebody while you with them or regardless. So just let people go and be free. And you want to be free yourself as well. Don't ever beg somebody to be with or stay with you. Realize that a person for you will always have your best interest, and the way that they feel about you will exude in their actions more than what they can do for you, but simply how they treat you. Being alone will always defeat being somewhere that you don't belong. Period.
Damn.
Cam's corner.
Okay. I like that. Shout out to Cam's corner. That was great. For my challenge of the week, before we close the show, my challenge of the week is for everybody is to make a list of non-negotiables. I was taught that in therapy, and it makes my dating life a lot easier to weed things out. My list of non-negotiables include really just 5 things. It don't have to be 20 things. The list of non-negotiables is not everything you don't like. It's everything that cannot happen. And if these things happen, you gotta go.
Mm-hmm.
So after you make that list, you have to trust yourself and love yourself enough to stand on it no matter what.
Be prepared to stand on it.
They want to know where to follow Cam. I'm gonna tell y'all in a second. But making that list of non-negotiables is big also because a lot of people get confused when it comes to settling and compromising.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? We have to compromise. And a lot of people feel like settling is like any time you fuck with somebody, do anything you don't like, if you deal with it, you're settling. And it's like, that's not what it is. Like, nobody was made for you.
Exactly.
Literally, like, no one was, God didn't make this person like
specifically for you
to do everything that you want you to do
like, it's not like
the way that you want them to do it. Like, it doesn't work like that. So you have to compromise. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, you know, men, we want women to submit to us. Women want to submit to great men. But I feel like men submit to women as well. You know what I'm saying? A lot of men will probably run from that word submit. But at the end of the day, if you was a nigga that was out
it's vulnerability
in the club
for
constantly,
men.
and now you bring your
That's
ass
pretty
home.
much what we call it.
They don't like that word. So vulnerability.
Yeah, but I mean, like, even changing our ways. Like, if I'm the nigga that's out doing my thing, and now that I'm with you, I'm coming home and I'm doing it. Like, so that's me submitting to you.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying? And I think that we all have to make those compromises. We all have to do those things. But while you're compromising, the non-negotiable list is what's gonna keep you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's gonna keep you like these things are not to be
dealing with stuff you got
compromised,
no
and you're
business
not
of
dealing
dealing
with things
with.
that you're not supposed to deal with.
Yep.
So that's my challenge of the week. Make your list of non-negotiables, maybe 5 to 7 things that absolutely cannot happen in a relationship. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And to hear mine, go back maybe 3 episodes ago, the episode featuring Raimi called Golden Relationship Advice. All right. And to end the show, FC Network. Follow FC Network. We on the business page right now. Make sure y'all following like this. Go to YouTube. Check out our YouTube page. Subscribe to that. You know, Terry Roseland podcast. TerryRoseland.com. Terry Roseland on every platform. Cam, you want to let them know where to follow you at?
Cam Bam Fam on everything. KAMBAMFAM. That's Instagram. That's Twitter. If you want to follow my Facebook, I mean, it's pretty lame, but you can find me on the FC Network page. It's Cam J Middleton. So yeah.
Nice. Oh, and my birthday party is Sunday. Make sure y'all slide to my birthday party.
Woo, woo.
I keep looking at this camera. We live. Make sure y'all slide to my birthday party this Sunday. Sports Channel's Luxury Bar, 130 52 South Ashland. Where they find you at?
Oh, okay. So we back. So Instagram at Bring It Brat,
Right.
BRINGBRAT_. I also have my business Instagram, Be the Change Therapeutic Services. That ad is at Be the Change TS. I also am on YouTube. My channel is called Keeping It a Buck with B. We focus on a lot: dating, sex, mental health, emotional wellness. I vlog, so it's a nice variety on there. Make sure y'all check that out. I don't think I missed any platforms, did I? Oh yeah, and just don't forget to get the book.
Period.
Okay?
Get the book.
Get the motherfucking
book. I appreciate y'all for coming on today. That's a wrap for us today. We appreciate y'all for watching and staying in tune with us. See y'all next time.
Period.